Imagine a world where the super-rich own the first colonies on Mars. What would happen if billionaires beat governments to the red planet? Would they create their own society? Would the rest of us be left behind? It sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, but could it become reality? Let's explore what would happen if the wealthiest people on Earth decided to claim Mars as their personal property first. Right now, the global race to colonize Mars is heating up. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and even NASA are involved. But what if the first land on Mars was bought privately, not publicly? Billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Richard Branson could lead the way. These entrepreneurs already control private space exploration ventures. So, what if they decided to bypass governments and plant their flag? Who would own the land, and how would they govern it? A Mars land grab would spark an entirely new kind of gold rush. But this wouldn't be about shiny nuggets or oil, it would be about territory. Owning a piece of Mars would be one of the ultimate status symbols. Imagine private property on a planet that humans have never colonized. If the wealthy controlled the land, would they begin building their own utopias? Would they create private cities, isolated from the rest of humanity? With no global law enforcement on Mars, who would have the power? The idea of private governments may sound far-fetched, but it's not. Imagine Mars becoming the first territory controlled by corporate entities. These billionaires could run Mars as their own sovereign states. They could create laws that serve their interests, without public scrutiny. Would we see new legal systems, tailored to the ultra-wealthy? Would regular citizens be excluded from Mars altogether? Could we see the first interplanetary class divide, where only the elite have access? For the super-rich, life on Mars could be an exclusive playground. They'd have access to luxury accommodations, private domes, state-of-the-art facilities. But would the rest of humanity be left in the dust? How would ordinary people even make it to Mars? Would there be space for all, or would it be a playground for the few? Imagine Mars as a wealthy sanctuary for those who can afford it. While the rich thrive on Mars, Earth would continue to struggle with its issues. The reaction from Earth's governments could be intense. Would countries stand by as billionaires carve out their own planets? Would the UN or international treaties intervene to prevent a monopoly? Who would own Mars? Would governments attempt to claim the land too? There's a real possibility that we'd face new space laws and treaties. Or maybe we'd see a free-for-all, where the rich claim everything. Could Mars become the new frontier for a battle of power and wealth? Let's consider the environmental consequences of a Mars land grab. While the super-rich may build their new world, what happens to Mars' environment? Would they create artificial ecosystems for themselves while leaving the planet barren? Or would they risk exploiting Mars' resources, just like we've done on Earth? What if, instead of preserving Mars, the wealthiest people destroy it for profit? Would Mars become another victim of exploitation, a mirror of Earth's mistakes? Could we see the same unsustainable practices repeat, even in space? Here's where things get tricky. International law doesn't recognize private ownership of outer space. The 1967 Outer Space Treaty states that space exploration should benefit all humankind. But that could change as private companies expand into the cosmos. If private citizens or companies start claiming land, the world would need to react. Could new treaties be formed to prevent space monopolies? Or would powerful companies simply ignore the rules, like they often do? The future of space law is still uncertain, and Mars could be the battleground. Building a colony on Mars would cost trillions, so how would the rich afford it? They could fund it through private investment, partnerships with governments, or even crowdfund it. Mars mining could become a huge source of revenue, extracting valuable minerals from the planet. But would these resources be used to benefit all of humanity? Or would the elite extract Mars wealth while leaving Earth to fend for itself? Could a Martian economy be built around exclusive services for the wealthy? What would it mean for the future of trade, business, and global power? The moral questions around a private Mars colony are vast and troubling. Would it be fair for a few people to claim a whole planet? Could we justify the unequal access to an entire world? Would this lead to the creation of new forms of space-based inequality? Could Mars become a tool for the rich to escape Earth's problems? The ethical issues surrounding Mars ownership are endless. How do we share space? In the end, who has the right to claim another world for themselves? As we look to the future, Mars could be the next great frontier. But who will be allowed to settle there? Will the super-rich carve out a new society for themselves? Or will humanity join together to make space a collective effort? The next few decades will determine whether Mars becomes a new home for all, or just another exclusive sanctuary for the elite. But no matter what happens, one thing is certain: Mars will change everything. What do you think? Should space belong to all of humanity? Or is it inevitable that the wealthiest will take control first? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Because the future of space could be just around the corner.